that not only do we fight to have civil decisions and monetary decisions, because really you can't ever put a full price on a life, but we're going to have to make it so that when an officer of the law abuses their power and uses it to maim or to kill innocent brothers and sisters, that not only does the insurance company have to pay, but the department itself has to pay, and that persons are prosecuted. And the reason you have more than a right to be there, and I want whoever's listening to hear this, that when officers of the law do what they did to Jayland, the greater ugliness of it is that they did it in our name, because they get their power from the people. If you ever go on the court, it'll say the state of Ohio versus so-and-so, or the people versus so-and-so. So in essence, the greater ugliness of all of this is that they kill a Jayland, and they do it in our name. And we cannot allow our name, our power, to be used to destroy our own selves. We must start framing it in that way as a moral argument, that an officer of the law who shoots innocent brothers and sisters just did it. They abused they took my name and your name in vain.
Yeah.
They took our names in vain. They took our power in vain. And when they allowed to go free, they again are taking our name in vain. And in the Bible, they call that blasphemy. And it is a form of political and social blasphemy for these officers to continue to kill and destroy our people. And we must make it so that when it happens, that they get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, and that not only does the insurance company have to pay, but they have to pay. They lose their pensions. They lose all of those things because you have no right in my name to kill me with the very power that you only get from me and from the people. So we remember that as long as we call his name, he will never truly be not in our midst. But we're going to continue to fight and to work and to push until justice comes. Until justice comes.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
God bless you.
Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Bishop Barber. God bless you. Praying for you. All right. We want to bring up next, it's good to hear from the bishop, is Andrew Joseph here? Brother Joseph?
Yeah, brother.
Where?
Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. What that mean? Fight back. Jayland Walker. What that mean? Fight back. Jayland Walker. What that mean? Fight back. What that mean? Fight back. What that mean? Fight back. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Power up. Break down. Power up. Break down. Power up. 2 times. Break down. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Oh. My name is Andrew Joseph Jr. I'm the father of Andrew Joseph III. My 14-year-old son was killed in Tampa, Florida, 2014, while at the Florida State Fair. He was detained by the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department and basically abandoned on side of the road without a phone call or a charge against him. And as he was trying to get back to the safety of the fair, he was hit by one Jonathan Hatfield, 19-year-old white male coming from the fair going to the casino. Jonathan Hatfield wasn't given a breath test. He wasn't given a ticket. He was allowed to ride home with my son's remains all over his front grill as if nothing had ever happened. February the 7th, 2014, it took us 9 years. 9 years to get a court date. We went to court and we won. An astronomical amount of money that would never bring my son back. The day after court, they filed another appeal for qualified immunity, which is another 9-year wait, a 9-year fight. So as I stand on this stage here today, I understand that this family is in this first stage with this grief, with this pain, because they're part of a club that nobody wants to be a part of. Nobody wants to go to the graveyard to visit your child. Nobody wants to go speak to that wall, to speak in that ground. You're not set up as humans to bury your children. It messes with you emotionally, mentally, psychotically. He's gonna dig in your pocket. It comes with a hospital visit. Sister Pam can't count how many tears that came out of her eyes. How her heart is racing. This is not nothing that you can turn off and on at the red light. This is on your mind 24/7, all day, all night. And there's no therapy for this. If I was standing up here with cancer, there's a facility that I can go to to receive treatment. If I was all burnt up, there's a facility that I can go to get treatment. But when those blue devils, and I ain't talking about the Duke, when those blue devils murders your loved one, there's no therapy that can heal that wound. There's no amount of money that can bring that soul back to this earth. And at some point during this miserable journey, we have to come to the realization that nobody out here today will see Jayland Walker here on earth again. And that's the sorrow salt that we have to live with. But this family's gonna need you. It's gonna get quiet after these cameras disappear, as the years go along. They're gonna need you financially, mentally, socially, to pick up the phone and say how you're doing. Her heart is gonna be heavy a lot of mornings, birthdays and holidays without your loved one. But we're gonna make sure that they never forget his name. We shall be here. Say his name!
Jayland Walker!
Say his name!
Jayland Walker!
Say his name!
Jayland Walker!
Power up! Break down!
All right, let's hear it for the Andrew Joseph Family and Foundation. This is a club that none of us deserves to be a member of. Is Markel Bridges. Building bridges. Let's give Markel Bridges, another impacted family, a round of applause.
Thank you, brother. Markel Bridges, building bridges for community, unity, and progress. In fact, I'm not an impacted family. I'm actually play a strange position in this fight. I'm often behind the scenes helping families with whatever they need, often from the beginning stage, before anyone would listen, before anyone would share, before there was any media coverage. I'd be right there with the families, trying to get them whichever resources they need. I'm here today to connect the dots. I'm here to let you know that Jayland is not an isolated incident. I'm a local of Gulfport, Mississippi, born and raised in Laurel, Mississippi, and I want to tell you about Michael Corey Jenkins. Michael Corey Jenkins was at his friend's house when 6 white officers came in, handcuffed him, began to waterboard him, began to sexually assault him, and before they left, they stuck the gun in his mouth while handcuffed and shot him in the mouth. I'm here to tell you about Rasheem Carter, black boy working, hard-working man, a father, a business owner. He's working out of town and in the city of Taylorsville, Mississippi, and 3 trucks full of racist white men kidnapped him, decapitated him. He was found with his genitals in his mouth. I'm here to tell you about Glenn Foster Jr., a Saints player. It doesn't matter what walk of life you are. It doesn't matter your educational level. They're killing you because you're black. They're killing you because you're black. They're killing you because you're up under this system, this racist and oppressive system that's always been here. These stories, these names, Miss Tiffany Rochelle, we can keep going. Jaheim McMillan, 15-year-old boy. All over the world, it starts with the police, then it goes to the coroner, that refuses to tell these families what happened, how he died, in which manner, and then it goes to the DA presenting BS cases, and then it goes higher and higher of just injustice. So we are here at the doorsteps of the DOJ demanding pattern and practice investigation into Jayland Walker. We live in America where they can shoot at you 90 times, strike you 46 unarmed, and the grand jury return a no bill. Just process that. Process that. That's how much your life matters. Process that. All over the world, they're killing us. Andrew Joseph shared you his story. I can go on and on. We're gonna keep the focus on Jayland, but name after name, same result after same result. It's on each and every one of us. I want to thank the Freedom Block for standing behind this family. This is what it takes. Stand behind them firm. Never waver. Continue to show up. They need you. When these go off, y'all continue to be with this family. Say his name.
Jayland Walker.
Say his name.
Jayland Walker.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
We have some other families. Brief remarks. Brother Johnston Stevens. Let's give him a round of applause.
All right, my brother Jeffrey Stevens was killed by the same sorry department, Akron Police Department, shot down 22 times after his family called the police about an incident. The first black dudes they saw, then the ones they got. He was with his son. But today I'm here to represent Jayland Walker, which is my nephew, my godson. And that was a rough one. Say his name.
Jayland Walker.
They didn't. This department didn't do nothing for my brother, but we gonna get him now. We gonna get him now.
When Reverend Green of Freedom Block comes forward in a little while, he'll talk about precisely what the demands are and the timeline. This ain't just gonna be hanging out there for weeks and days and months. Infinitely. We want a response within 2 weeks. Bishop Barber just, you see me I know that looks rude, I keep answering the phone. But Bishop Barber just called to tell me he's calling all of our friends in the movement, Tamika, to tell them to call inside right now. So we can try to get this going. One of our partner organizations locally here, and has been doing great work when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, is Harriet's Wildest Dreams. Y'all in the house, is Mickey here? There you are. Mickey Charles from Harriet's Wildest Dreams is gonna come forward. They've been fighting a good fight around police violence here locally. We want to give them an opportunity. They mobilize some of the local folk to come out here. So the DMV, that's what they call it down here. The DMV is in the house. All right, Mickey.
It's nice to meet you.
Come on, y'all. Come on, Slack. Come on around.
Whew. Hey, y'all. I'm a little short. And I can't see. My name's Mickey. I'm a lead organizer with Harriet's Wildest Dreams, based right here in Washington, D.C. We're a black abolitionist community defense hub, and we center all black lives most at risk for state-sanctioned violence. We're out here today to support the family of Jayland Walker. We send you our love, our support, and we uplift him. Our work is rooted in community defense because as abolitionists, we know that the police do not keep us safe. We know that these systems of carcerality in all forms, whether that be the prison industrial complex, whether that be the banks, all capitalism, all them isms, we are fighting to reimagine a new world. We are building the world that we want to live in, and all of that is rooted in community because we keep us safe. Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
Who keeps us safe?
We keep us safe.
And the fact of the matter is that DC is a police state. We have 32 independent police departments right here in DC. We have more police per capita than anywhere else in the entire country. So you're not only dealing with the Metropolitan Police Department, you're dealing with the FBI, you are dealing with Park Police, you are dealing with US Marshals, and however many more there are that maybe I don't even know about. And you will come into contact with them. They want to make you think that you won't, and you will. We have families up here with us that have been affected by all of these police departments and agencies. And it's not okay. Gun violence is a real issue in DC. But we cannot deny the fact that police gun violence is also gun violence. The exposure that black people have to guns is rooted in police gun violence. They are in our schools, they are in our neighborhoods, they're in our backyards, they are in our homes sometimes. They're everywhere. And it is really heartbreaking, the number of names on this list that I have here of people in DC that have been shot and killed by the police. In 2022 alone, there were only 12 days out the year that police did not shoot and kill somebody.
Shame.
12 days. 365 days in a year. There were only 12 days in 2022 where police did not shoot and kill somebody. That's averaging about 100 people a month. In what world is that okay?
No world.
No world. That is not okay. And we know that it disproportionately affects historically and underserved neighborhoods, particularly black neighborhoods. We have a police chief in DC and a mayor who constantly talk about crime in our city. What is causing crime? What are the data that it shows? But what we really need to talk about is criminalization. And that is almost in every facet of our society today. Whether you are in a grocery store, whether you are trying to get an education, whether you are walking down the street, black bodies are criminalized every single day for existing. And that's the way they built it. So we cannot ask for justice. We cannot ask them to give us the tools to overthrow what we know is not okay. We have to demand it.
That's right. That's right.
We have to take it.
Yes, right. That's right. That's
And
right.
we need to come together as a community and support and love and show up for one another. And that's what Harriet's Wildest Dreams does. We show up for our community. And I hope and pray that Akron is showing up for y'all as well. Because that's really what's gonna get us through. There's a lot of legislation right now in DC that is being discussed and passed and overthrown that insinuate that we need more police, that insinuate that we need harsher cultural punishments. And we know that's not true. Mayor Bowser wants to harshen penalties for children in DC. There is no reason for a 12-year-old to be held without bond, to be held in a cage at all. We are putting more money into incarcerating children than we are into our education system. And they are trying to make it seem like what these youth are doing, when they probably haven't even done anything wrong, they'll make you believe that they probably deserved it. And that's not okay. Our youth in DC need to be poured into now more than ever. Because we're not going to deny that inter-community violence doesn't exist. It does. But we need to pour into our community resources, funding, support, not cages.
That's right. That's right.
Not punishment. They deserve to be uplifted. Because this is not a world that I would want my child to live in. And I hope that none of you either would. Now I'm gonna yield the rest of my time to the lovely women behind me so that we can uplift the lives in DC that have also been lost to police violence, because their names need to be said as well.
Mama, mama, can't you see?
Mama, mama, can't you see
What police have done to me?
what police have done to me?
They lock us up, they shoot us down.
They lock us up, they shoot us down.
Ain't no justice in this town.
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 What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
If we don't get it,
Shut it down.
Justice for Jayland, dog.
What we want to do, just like we did, it's really all of these queens up here representing their families. In the interest of time, we want to do, hey Thomas, in the interest of time, we want to do what we did in Akron. I'm going to ask each one of you to name your loved one, say your loved one's name, and then we're going to repeat it. Say that individual's name, okay? We're going to just say everybody's name. Go right ahead. Come on.
Archie Elliott III.
Say his name. Come up to the mic. Come on up to the mic. Just say your loved one's name.
Delano Martin.
Delano Martin.
Vito Hall.
Vito Hall.
Anybody? You coming?
Yeah, right there.
Coming up? Come on.
Before somebody forget his name, Terrence Sterling.
Terrence Sterling.
Jamal Bird, say his name.
Jamal Bird.
Kevin L. Cooper.
Kevin L. Cooper.
Gary Hopkins Jr.
Gary Hopkins Jr.
Daquan Young.
Daquan Young.
Dale Graham.
Dale Graham.
Standing out here, we have the mother of Corinne Gaines. Say her name.
My name is Trey Joyner, and my name is Brenda Joyner, and my son named Trey Joyner, killed by the U.S. Park Police.
My son, Donnell Rochester.
Donnell Rochester.
Kevin Hargrave, say his name.
Kevin Hargrave.
Let's lift up all of these families. Did we leave anybody out? Tiffany spoke. Tiffany spoke.
Troy Bullock.
Say his name. Troy Bullock.
Lionel Womack.
I do want to acknowledge one mother here who I've known. We were out here.
Many years ago. Many
We don't want to say the number of years, do we?
30 years.
30 years.
Her son was taken from us 30 years ago. And they posted a picture in the paper Friday this month,
The 19th.
on Juneteenth, 30 years ago. Artie Elliott. And they posted a picture in the Informer of us marching together. I don't know how that's possible because I'm not 30 yet. But no, we were here in these streets. And Dorothy Elliott has been keeping up the fight and has been, before Black Lives Matter was even a hashtag, Dorothy Elliott was out here leading this movement, so we're thankful for her. Give her a special round of applause. This 30th anniversary.
Say this little quote.
Real
That's
quick.
Okay. I would
Come to the mic, come to the mic.
I would like for all of us to remember the words that I want to share now. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and helpless and see that they get justice.
Amen. Let's have a round of applause for all these mothers. Thank you all these family members. Brother Joseph said this is not a club anybody wants to be a member of, but they're just so many.
One name we forgot, Amir Brooks. His mama just came.
Another name.
Amir Brooks.
Amir Brooks.
Amen.
There's so many. We got so many names.
That's it.
Can I just say something real quick?
Darren Lazarus, say his name.
Darren Lazarus.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you.
Something to the family.
Real quick.
Yes. My name is Marion Gray Hopkins, and I'm with the Coalition of Concerned Mothers, an organization right here in this local region that is formed and led by impacted mothers. And so I want to say to the family that we stand in solidarity with you. I will be exchanging my numbers, and then reach out to us for any support that is needed. Thank you.
All right. You shall go greet Miss Walker. We can do better than that. Thank you. Let's give Harriet's Wildest Dreams a round of applause as well for organizing these mothers. We've been informed that even the national media is watching our stream right now. We're going to bring forward now my brother to give us a word from Until Freedom. Our brother, my son. Give him a round of applause.
How y'all doing today? My name is my son Lennon. I am one of the 4 co-founders of Until Freedom, along with my sister, who will be speaking shortly, Tamika D. Mallory, Angelo Pinto, and Linda Sarsour. I'm also the founder and creator of a national movement called Boycott Black Murder. And I'm gonna be very brief. I just want us to understand that we can't stop fighting. Like, we can't stop fighting because nothing that we've ever got in this country we didn't get by fighting. They're never gonna give black people anything that we don't fight for. I know we feel like we shouldn't have to fight for justice. We shouldn't have to fight for freedom, but history shows us that we have to fight with every breath that we have. We cannot stop fighting when these cameras disappear, when the crowds get lower, when the national media doesn't show what it's supposed to show, when they want to distract you with the Titan and the Titanic, instead of showing you pictures of Jayland Walker, who was shot 46 times with handcuffs on him in the street. That wasn't on the national news. They didn't show you the picture of Jayland Walker in handcuffs with 46 holes in his body because they don't want you to be outraged and fight for your freedom. They want you to stop fighting. They want you to be distracted. They want you to be distracted. They want you to believe that we can't win. But the only way we win is if we fight. They said the only way that evil can triumph is for good people to do nothing. So we don't have the right to do nothing. We have to fight with every inch of our body. We've seen this before. We've seen this before from Philando Castile, Sean Bell. We've seen it before, Breonna Taylor. We have to continue to fight. We have to stay vigilant. It only takes a few lions to win a war. We don't care about the sheep. I go to war with 10 lions before I go with 1 million sheep. So these is the lions right here. Understand, you are pivotal. I am fighting for my life, not just Jayland Walker, because I understand I can be Jayland Walker at any given time. And when we take that fight and we identify that fight, as black men and black people in this country, we understand that we don't have the right to stop fighting. So I'm gonna say it one more time, please don't stop fighting. Please don't give up when you see small crowds. Please don't give up because you don't see it on the media, because you don't see it on CNN, because they want you to stop fighting. So please don't stop fighting. When I say boycott, I want y'all to say black murder. Boycott! 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 Keep on fighting, y'all.
Our brother, my son Lennon. Give him another round of applause. We thank you. Coming now Strong from Until Freedom, one of the other co-founders. Just by way of a public service announcement, folks, please manage your own garbage and trash. We're responsible for that. Or I am. My name's on the permit, so if the trash don't get picked up, those gentlemen over there in those white cars, if the trash don't get picked up, they're here to arrest me after it's over. I gotta get home. But please pick up your trash, your water bottles. Our dear sister, our queen, and I and Mice, we take too many of these calls every day. And it's very painful and it weighs on you. She keeps answering the calls, we all do, and she has become one of our leading spokespersons in this movement for our lives mattering, this movement that we be treated like human beings, and that women who are affected in this way are held up equally as men. If it weren't for her, we wouldn't know about Breonna Taylor the way we do. Amen? So let's have a round of applause for our dear sister, Tamika Mallory. Please welcome her.
I see you in a long time.
I know, it seems like it's been a minute.
Been a long time since I've been with Mark Thompson out here. How y'all doing? Let's get a little bit more noise than that. So I'm going to say, no justice.
No peace.
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 They say, get back, and we say, fight back. And if there ain't gonna be no justice, there ain't gonna be no damn peace. Brothers and sisters, Mark Thompson, the Reverend Mark Thompson is right. There's too many phone calls, too many names, and in fact, as I'm sitting here right now at this rally for our brother Jayland Walker, I'm also in the process of organizing a strategy call for A.J. Owens and her family so that they can get justice in Ocala, Florida. I'm also speaking with family members and others in other families. Too many families around this country are suffering with the same exact crisis that we are dealing with and addressing here today at the Department of Justice. And in my morning reflection, I was looking for a quote specifically around consistency, because I know that oftentimes, in order for us to keep going in these moments, we need that inspiration. We need the inspiration that tells us why we must stay consistent. We must be bold in our efforts to get justice, as my brother, my son has said, not just for Jayland Walker, although that is what we are here fighting for today, but we're really fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for our children. We're fighting for the generation that will ask, what did we do? Because we cannot turn and look at those before us and try to use their examples of freedom fighting for our success in this moment. It is our responsibility to fight for ourselves. So instead of me finding the quote I was looking for around consistency, I found something else, because I truly do believe that God speaks to us when we are looking for inspiration to keep going. And I want you to know that even I need inspiration to keep going. And the quote that popped up was from Maya Angelou. And it's so powerful, I can't wait to say it to you all. The need for change bulldozed a road down the center of my mind. The need for change bulldozed, I done forgot it, a road down the center of my mind. That, to me, brothers and sisters, is so important, because what it says is that I know that change must be made, and it's steeped so deep in me that even when there's only two people, even when the system tells us no, when the courts reject us, We must continue to show up, and we cannot back down under any circumstances. We demand justice, and we will continue to show up for it. It means that rain, sleet, snow, whatever it is, whatever the conditions, we will not go home and retreat, because there are people who seem to be more powerful than us that continue to push back. We are freedom fighters, and freedom fighters have a hard road ahead of us. And Jayland Walker is not an easy situation to fight, because the media has helped. They have been complicit in uniting and sharing the narrative that the police department attempted to put out about Jayland. The media has helped to suffocate this young man's story. If you listen to the details, and I don't want to get in trouble with Attorney Paige White today for trying to talk legal strategy, but if you listen to their story, it doesn't make sense. It never added up. Nothing ever came together. It was never clear. It always was a bullshit story. It always was a story that did not make sense. If I asked you all to explain the story to me, even from their perspective, I promise you that most people would have dead silence in different areas, because none of it ever made sense. But they told a story, the media accepted it, and ultimately, the story has been suffocated from the news. 90 plus shots. I know we focus on the 40 plus shots that actually hit Jayland Walker, but there was 90 plus shots fired at one man who was not shooting back. That's the story that needs to stay top of mind. So when you're laying in your bed and you say, oh man, they're calling me back in the rain and the snow and they gotta go to Ohio, and you say, why should I do that? I'm tired. I'm dealing with this story over here and that story. You ask yourself, if the police shot at your son 90 plus times and he was not firing back, would you want people to come to D.C. and anywhere else in this country to stand with you? And I know that I need people to stand with me. God forbid something like that ever happens to mine. So we are here not just because this is a day of action. We are here because it is our moral duty not to allow them to sweep Jayland Walker under the rug. And here's the last thing that I will say. Jayland Walker represents every single case that you are hearing about right now. You might not be able to make it to stand up for another child, but if you stand up for Jayland Walker, you are letting the system know that the entire thing must be torn down and rebuilt. We do not believe that policing can be reformed. And any organization that is out here telling you that reform and training is all we need, they are either purposely trying to confuse you, they are being paid by those people who are killing us, or they just don't know. So let us inform everyone today. Reform and training is not the problem. We need convictions. We need people locked up, and we need the federal government to stop funding police departments in this country that are killing black people with impunity. We need consequences. Police have the best training and the most resources of any agency in this nation. In New York City, the police have more money than all the other agencies, whether it be the Department of Transportation, the Department of Mental Health, the school system, and certainly housing. They have the most money, the most training, and yet they still kill black people unarmed and in vulnerable situations. So do not let them tell you that training is all the police need. And that you as a taxpayer need to continue to invest in more training. That we just need small reforms. We need a system that is torn down and rebuilt by the people, for the people, for our concerns, and with us in mind. So brothers and sisters, do not give up. People thought they should go home for Breonna Taylor. They went home after Daniel Cameron, who we intend to fight like hell in Kentucky so that he does not get rewarded for lying and being an obstructionist around Breonna Taylor's, the investigation and the criminal charges for the murder of Breonna Taylor. He's trying to run for governor, and we will give our lives in Kentucky before we allow that to happen. But people went home. They went home. They thought there was nothing else to do. And we kept fighting with small groups. We came to Washington, D.C. We never let it go. We never stopped. And now we finally have seen charges against some of the officers responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. So my message to you today, brothers and sisters, is that it may not look good. It may feel gloomy. You may not feel like we're winning, but do not give up and bring another person back with you. Let us keep fighting forward together and backwards never.
Tamika Mallory, my son Lennon, let's give him another round of applause. We're strong enough to withstand the weather, but we don't want to make anybody endure anything unnecessarily. So we're going to try to move this program quickly. Let's bring forward several organizations, inclusive of Until Freedom. Bring me up a little bit, Bruce, if you don't mind. Several organizations, inclusive of Until Freedom, and many others, Bishop Barber, the NAACP, the Urban League, all signed a letter demanding an investigation by this department, the Department of Justice. And one of those organizations here represent is the Akron NAACP. Let me also say to people, you can sign the petition. Everybody here and everybody watching on the stream can sign the petition demanding a DOJ investigation. This is the shortened URL, bit.ly/DOJ letter Jayland Walker. bit.ly, that's bit.ly/DOJ letter dash is in hyphen Jayland Walker. I'm gonna say it one more time, bit.ly/DOJ letter hyphen Jayland Walker. Go there now and sign that petition. Please, ma'am, please, sir. Here, the president of the Akron branch of the oldest, the boldest, most discussed organization, our civil rights organization, the NAACP. The president of the Akron NAACP, Dr. Judy Hill.
Wow, he want to make me a doctor so bad, but I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. So much of what I want to say has already been said, but I just want to say a few things. This trend of police shooting, we've seen it across our country. Akron is no different. Black males comprise 6.1% of the total U.S. population, but 24.9% of all persons killed by law enforcement. Both black, brown, African American, Hispanics, Latinos, that's all right, are twice as likely to experience threat or use of force by police. This is nothing new. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But we're here today in Washington, D.C., to talk about yet another case. 25-year-old man. And I refuse to say it, Mom, because I told you I'm not going to say it again. Was shot, killed, murdered by police multiple times last year with no justice. So we are here because an unarmed, unmanned young man was killed, but not just Jayland Walker. Not just Jayland Walker. Some other names that were mentioned, James Gross, Muhammad Islam, Robert Talbert, William Persky, Edward Taylor, all individuals killed by Akron police, Philip Hassan, Omar Ali, William Lemon, Jeffrey Stevens, Demetrius Vincent, Solomon Dandridge. Do I need to go on? Do we need to not see the list to understand that there's a pattern of injustice towards black men in the city of Akron? Do we need to continue to see this? We are here today just to tell the Department of Justice a pattern and practice evaluation needs to be done in the city of Akron. Clearly, the names are here every other year, every year. Some young black man loses his life. It's time. Yeah. It's time, people. None of them have received justice. I tell people all the time, I remember the day that we held the first press conference, and I heard this mother in the background saying, I did not know how many times they shot at my son. That's all I heard. I didn't even want to speak. All I heard was her crying. She did not know how many times her son had been shot. I can't rest until we get justice. No justice? No peace. No justice? No peace. We from Akron, Ohio, have letters to the Department of Justice. I have members who have signed letters. We have from the NAACP, but individuals who are saying it's time. We want to leave those letters here today, and I hope there's somebody here that will take them. No justice?
No peace. No crooked police.
Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Won't you say his name? We want to hear now from a member of the family, Jayland's cousin, in fact, and in this struggle, he's become a brother to me. We've become brothers to one another. He is the pastor of St. Ashworth Temple Church of God in Christ right there in Akron. Please welcome the Reverend Dr. Robert DeJohnette.
I would like to first start off by reading a statement from our Congresswoman Amelia Sykes of the 13th Congressional District of Ohio. And some of her staff members is here, Chief of Staff Remington Belfort, and the staff, would you just wave to us? They're here. And it reads, "Greetings, let me begin saying, although I could not be here with you in person, I am with you in spirit because this gathering is indicative of the unity of our community. And I am comforted knowing you all have traveled to the nation's capital to keep Jayland's memory alive. When we lost Jayland, our community lost a son, a brother, a friend, a kind soul whose life, memory, and tragic death will forever be imprinted in the fabric of this community. We watched speechless as the body camera footage of what took place on June 27th replayed on our TVs. People are angry, frustrated, scared, and uncertain, all understandably so. The tension in our community is still palpable. In the face of unspeakable tragedy, Jayland's family has shown us incredible grace. Jayland's mother, Pamela, and his sister, Jada, have asked us to keep his memory lifted no matter what happens. I am fully confident that not only will Jayland's memory be lifted, but that his memory will be a blessing. We will mourn, heal, and move forward together as a community. The U.S. Constitution guarantees every person in this country the freedom to protect their government peacefully without retribution. Our right to assemble here today is critical to the functioning of our democracy. It holds those in power accountable and sparks change when the laws on the books are not doing enough to protect our communities. It's how elected officials know how to best serve the citizens who have entrusted us to carry out the functions of the government. Your voice, our community's collective voice, is the only way we can make the change we're hoping for and fighting for permanent. Our community stands here today dedicated to preventing something like this from ever happening again. As the Congresswoman for Ohio's 13th Congressional District, ensuring the safety and security of our communities is my top priority. We can all agree that significant changes are needed so everyone in this community feels safe, and I am ready to work with anyone who is willing to help accomplish that goal. We all have an obligation to work together to keep our community safe. This starts by building trust between law enforcement officers and the citizens they swore an oath to protect and serve. Together we can improve public safety by ensuring accountability, transparency, and justice in our policing. And when the camera crews leave, we will not run away from the challenges ahead of us. We are going to face them together because we are the birthplace of champions. The community I've called home will face any obstacle that comes our way with honesty, clarity, and love. To Jayland's mother, Pamela, his sister, Jada, the organizers of this march, elected officials, community leaders, and each of you gathered today, I won't stop fighting until every person in the Ohio 13th Congressional District feels safe and secure in our communities. Yours in service, Amelia Strong Sykes, Member of Congress, 13th Congressional District of Ohio. Let's hear it for our Congresswoman. We are so grateful for her support, not only her support, but all of the support that we have encountered as a family. It has been helpful. Although, as it has been said, nothing can change the pain that this family is feeling. But we are grateful for those who have traveled from Akron, those who have come here locally in DC, those who have come across the nation, and those who are listening and watching. We are grateful for you all, and we encourage you to continue to support us in this battle, in this fight, because we need everyone to be in this fight. So I'm going to ask you, tell me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Tell me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Tell me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
And we need the community to continue to stand together with us and keep your prayers going for us because we need them. Thank you again.
Pastor Robert D. Jeanette. Let me just repeat for those watching, people all over the country and all over the world are watching the stream, bit.ly/DOJ letter -Jayland Walker. bit.ly/DOJ letter -Jayland Walker. Spread the word. Dr. Jennifer Ross, I need to see you, if I could, please. We're going to bring forward now representing the law firm that is representing the family. It's ready. Attorney Paige White, she will be speaking, and she says if she leaves a little bit left over, Joe Fouché III, she's gonna let him say something. So, Attorney Paige White and Attorney Joe Fouché III, please welcome them warmly. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Won't you say his name?
Good afternoon. I'm going to be brief because I know we have some rain coming. 1 year ago today, Pamela and Jada Walker received the worst phone call that they will ever receive in their lifetime. 7 shots fired by 8 officers, 94 times towards their son and their brother. Pamela and Jada, I know how difficult it is for you to be out here. And I thank you each and every day for waking up and continuing to fight this along with us. When the cameras are gone, this family sits in their emptiness. And Pam and Jada, I hope that you look around and feel the support of your community, not only in Akron, Ohio, but nationwide standing with you. We know that Pam and Jada's life was changed on June 27th of last year, but we know that that change goes back to enslavement that we call now modern policing. In Washington, D.C., I was a public defender here where I watched the chain gangs go on down the street, down into the courthouse, into the jails. And those chain gangs are all around this country, and when they don't make it to court, they make it to the graveyard. We know what we're up against. And I just want to tell you all, we have filed a lawsuit against the city of Akron for $45 million for each bullet that struck Jayland. We have called on the Department of Justice, and we stand with this community as we hope that the Department of Justice will continue their conversations with us and get involved. Part of that lawsuit, take a look. We have Exhibit 1 that's attached to it, where the Akron Police Department are calling their citizens Crackosauruses, animals that need to be handled. And so we stand today for justice. We're not asking for anything that this family doesn't deserve and that Black and brown folks in this country don't deserve. And so I'd ask at this time that we take a 46-second moment of silence for Jayland Walker and his family. We are hurt, but we're not broken. We stand with this family. We demand justice for Jayland Walker and for all Black and brown folks in this country. Thank you.
Say his name. Say his name. No justice. No peace. No crooked police.
Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Won't you say his name? At this moment, we're going to bring forward our great organization right on the ground in Akron, responsible for a lot of this work, responsible for helping to organize the buses and getting the word out and beating the bushes, being out in the streets. And I've said to people, we're here today at the DOJ, and we're going to demand what we must have from the Department of Justice. But there's still work to be done in Akron. This police chief needs to fire those 8 officers. And if he doesn't, the new mayor coming in needs to fire the chief of police. And if the new mayor doesn't do that, then the mayor's got to go. There must be accountability for this. And so we welcome now our brother representing the Freedom Bloc, the Reverend Dr. Raymond Green. Please welcome him. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. All right, brother. After you close it out.
What up, doe? Justice for Jayland Walker. Justice for Jayland Walker. Justice for all of our comrades across the country, coast to coast, that have been brutally murdered by local law enforcement, the very law enforcement that you pay, that we pay to protect us. As we address the Department of Justice today, as we stand here in solidarity to demand a pattern of practice investigation into the Akron Police Department, we also stand here to address the violent attacks on Black people at the hands of urban law enforcement across the country. This day highlights the inequities of our society, where Black mothers who were once forced to breastfeed white children just to have those same white children kill their babies, that highlights the inequities in our country. This historic day furthers the tradition of marches for freedom in DC, from the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in '63 to the Millionaire March in '95 to the George Floyd protests in 2020. We are here in solidarity with all the marches of the past to build a union with each other, to continue and struggle and stand in solidarity with one another. The FBI has done the investigation in all the police departments. They have turned over evidence that shows that the police departments have been infiltrated by white nationalist groups. Mothers here, fathers, families have provided the evidence in the terms of dead bodies left from coast to coast by the hands of state-sanctioned violence. Broken hearts of loved ones and declining mental health of black communities are left behind to deal with the carnage left by gang mentality mobs dressed in blue. Now we are here to demand that the highest level of law enforcement do the job that the taxpayers pay them to do, and that's to investigate civil rights atrocities. That's to address human rights atrocities and violations in this country. In this moment, standing here with you all today, I am reminded of the ancestor Malcolm X when he said, in all the history books we learn about wars we fought against other nations. Meanwhile, we never noticed the war that has been going on since our ancestors set foot on this land. After they were kidnapped from their homes and placed onto ships to be sold to the highest bidder. This war is a one-sided war. Only the white man dressed in blue is given a right to kill and a gun to holster. Every day, countless black lives are taken by these men in uniforms that they say fight for justice. I do not see justice today. I see a disproportionately treating system that puts black brothers and sisters at risk just for having some melanin in our skin. Many of these idealistic morals of law and order that these men in uniform flaunt disappear when they see a person of color. Many have watched or worked with activists and community members of Atlanta as they fight against the proposed Cop City. I'm from Ohio, where they are trying to do something similar by bringing a police training center to Central Ohio. Officials are looking to create a commission titled the Joint Law Enforcement Training Study, where we the people must redefine what safety looks like. We must build together, build relationships with each other, and build institutions that serve the interests of the people. We must live off the principles that we keep us safe. We must deny all efforts to implode our communities with more violence through occupying forces that we call the police. Why will we continue to funnel money through a system that is continuously failing the very citizens it was designed to protect? Although the percentage of black people being murdered by police is obscene, the fact that police are killing everyone, whether black, white, Hispanic, or other, is a problem in this country. There should be no one dying at the hands of law enforcement who we pay to protect and serve. These police killings in urban communities employ other harms that otherwise could be avoided. In areas where there are police killings, black population reports worse mental health than any other community. A 2018 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that police killings could contribute 1.7 additional poor mental health days per black person every year, or 55 million more poor mental health days for black Americans annually. An average of 31,960 years of life are lost annually in the U.S. due to police killings. We must reverse this course, and we must do it now. We are here today demanding a pattern of practice investigation into the police department. We are here demanding today that all police chases in Akron, Ohio, and abroad ends today. We are here today demanding that the 8 officers who killed, brutally murdered Jayland Walker be terminated immediately today. We are here today to demand that our chief resigns or be terminated today. We want a response within the next 2 weeks, or we will continue to escalate. Police departments will be revitalized, will be recentered, refocused on community, or they will be destroyed by the hands of the people. We will change or we will burn. Thank you.
Reverend Raymond Green, Freedom Block. Say his name. Say his name. We want to bring forward now, we'll follow the protocol, appropriate protocol. We're going to bring Sister Judy Hill back, the National NAACP, which has signed the letter. We've just been offered an opportunity to deliver the letter signed by the civil rights organizations to the DOJ. We're going to do that at this conclusion. We're going to try to beat this rain, but we'll have, I love to introduce her, but we'll follow the local national protocol. Please, you can introduce her.
Oh, you know what? We are so proud today that we have with us, before this rain hits us, our sister from the national branch of the NAACP, Sister Patrice Willoughby. She's a senior VP of Global Impact for the national organization. As was said, the national organization signed the letter, and she is just going to give us a few words of comments before we deliver the letters that we have on hand.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm Patrice Willoughby, and on behalf of the NAACP, 3 million members, 2,200 units, we are here with you today to demand justice for Jayland. I'm usually the person who's behind the computer writing a lot of stuff, but this is critically important because we're tired of police-involved shootings. We are tired of police brutality, and we are tired of the rise in white supremacy that has ingrained in the way that black communities are over-policed. Today, we're here to deliver the letters, but also to let you know that we are standing with you. We will continue to advocate on policy, in campaigns, and to change the way that policing is done in this country. For too long, police officers have operated under the cloak of qualified immunity, acting with impunity and acting in ways that injure our communities. This has to stop. And so while we mourn with you, and we mourn with all of the families, we also encourage you to stand up, keep standing up, get out and vote. Let's keep marching toward accountability for justice for Jayland and justice for everyone. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you to Patrice Willoughby. The NAACP is on the letter we're about to deliver. Color of Change is here. Amen. What? I know, but I got. He's gonna close us out, brother. I ain't gonna. He's important. I'm not. Kilo G, I'm coming. Color of Change, come on. Color of Change was the repository for the letter. Helped us organize it. Come on, Michael Huggins. Let's give him a round of applause. Color of Change. Our brother Rashad Robinson.
Thank you, everybody. I want to keep this short because of the rain. The murder of Jayland Walker sent shockwaves through Akron and this country, but it wasn't just that. True police violence took place against protesters simply calling for justice and police accountability, and that is unacceptable. We are here today to acknowledge the work that Color of Change and also so many organizations, 20 civil rights organizations have done to create a petition. 38,000 community activists have signed this petition, and we are also sending, as people have mentioned, a letter to the Department of Justice demanding a pattern of practice investigation. We know that this letter essentially it says that communities know their own safety, and we need to start moving beyond this whole notion of more police, more criminalization, more carceral systems controlling our lives. And I really want to thank all of you for coming here. It is an honor to be here under the worst of circumstances, but I really just want to emphasize how much that we are in this fight together. and we know that police violence is something that is always is certainly disproportionately impacting Black and brown folks, and we just have to do better. We just have to do better. And so I just want to uplift our petition. I want to uplift the letter that has been discussed today, and I also want to issue our demand to the Department of Justice that they open up a pattern or practice federal civil rights investigation into the police department in the city of Akron. We know they can do this. They just did it with Minneapolis as a result of George Floyd. And so, I'm just gonna, we know they can do this. And so, we just want to uplift this demand, and we want to make sure that the Department of Justice goes through with this federal civil rights investigation. Thank you so much.
Michael Huggins with Color of Change. Say his name. An original song for Jayland is going to close us out. Akron's own. Please welcome him. And as we get ready, folks, we're going to go down this street. We're going to be escorted to deliver our letters. Amen? So we're going to all go together. So let's get ready to go. But to close us out, Akron's own Kilo G.
This is Jayland Walker, y'all. My name Jayland Walker. My name Jayland Walker. My name Jayland Walker. My name Jayland Walker. I'm 25 and I'm from Akron. That's in Ohio. Got murdered by APD, 90 shots, 60 hit me, and I ain't even get remorse from the captain. Now I can't remember everything that happened, but I'ma just break it down and state some real facts. My name Jayland Walker. It's so precarious, so they claim they saw a strap. I'm doing the speed limit, car equipment intact. Took a look in my rear view, saw a cop in the back. I wasn't doing wrong, I just hit the gas. Now here come the lights. One cruiser turning to 3, 3 cruisers turning to 8, and they all following me, trying to pull me over. All these cops for little me, mind racing as I'm mashing the gas through Akron streets. Turn left, hit a right, hopped out, now I'm on feet. Back turn, cops running with guns pointing at me. Never turned around, I ain't have a weapon, wasn't a threat. This thing I know. You won't believe what happened next. The first shot struck my back, running away. My body turned, they still shooting. Them bullets burning like mace. I'm on the ground. Why they still shooting rounds? Aiming at me, one hit my neck. Now I'm like George Floyd, I can't breathe. I wasn't even trying to reach. Well, stop, please, but I just kept hearing shots and I'm feeling them hitting me. I feel my body getting cold. My soul about to leave DOA. Body filled up with bullet holes. Blood covered my... Is that standard procedure to shoot people running away? Them cops cowards when they shot me. Couldn't look me in my face. My name Jayland Walker. See, what I did, I should have only got a fleeing charge, a court-day to find and sent back to the boulevard. Worst case scenario, they put me in the county. I do some days, get out, then I'm back around my family. But instead, I'm laying here handcuffed and dead with 60 bullet holes that go from my knees up to my head. Damn, look how they did me. Who would ever believe the people you protect me? My name Jayland Walker. Who would ever believe the people you pay to protect and serve can't even protect me? My name Jayland Walker. Justice for Jayland, man. To the people.
Let's hear it again for Kilo G. The rain held up, y'all. Y'all ready to move? Danny, you all want to get right over here. We're going to let the family lead us. We're going to go around on the other side of the building. So everybody line up right over here by this bus stop, if you don't mind. Y'all can carry the banner up front too. Take the banner over there by the bus stop. We'll follow behind the banner. Say his name. 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 Say his name.
peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Whose house? Whose house? Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Who got the power? Who got the power? They're supposed to hear you inside. They're supposed to be coming to their windows to see what's going on. You gotta say what you say. Whose house? Whose house? Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Show what the power look like. Power up. Power up. Break down. Power up. Break down. Power up. 2 times. Break down. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. We bow, baby. We bow. Bow, bow, bow. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Let's move. Let's move. All right. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow.
Y'all, we might be moving too slow. This rain is coming. Y'all going down here. We might pick up a little bit.
Who got the power? We got the power. 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 Hello? Good job. Hello? We outside DOJ. Good job. Hello? Hey. 2 times. Good job. Whose house? Our house. Whose street? Our street. 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 Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. Who's got the power? We got the power. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Power.
Going in down and making blessing.
Big down. Power. We're gonna lower the thing.
He told me no more.
Big down. Power. 2 times. Big down. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. Whose street? Our street. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Jayland Walker. Some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Say his name. Jayland Walker. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Put some respect on it. Bow, bow, bow. Who got the power? We got the power. 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 Whose street? Our street. Whose house? Our house. Whose street? Our Break down. Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose house?
Our house.
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 Say's name.
Jayland Walker.
Say's name.
Jayland Walker.
Say's name.
Jayland Walker.
Put some respect on.
Bow, bow, bow.
Put some respect on.
Bow, bow, bow.
Say's name.
Jayland Walker.
Say's name.
Jayland Walker.
Say's name.
Jayland Walker.
Put some respect on it.
Bow, bow, bow.
Put some respect on it.
Bow, bow, bow.
Put some respect on it.
Bow, bow, bow.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
Power.
I was afraid I was gonna give you something too big.
Break down. Power. Break down. Power. Two times, break down. Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose house?
Our house.
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 Sandy.
Jayland Walker.
Sandy.
Jayland Walker.
Sandy.
Jayland Walker.
Put some respect on it.
Bow, bow, bow.
Put some respect on his name.
Bow, bow, bow.
Put some respect on his name.
Bow, bow, bow.
Put some respect on it.
Bow, bow, bow.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Power! We coming. Big down. Power! Big down. Power! Two times, big down. Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose house?
Our house.
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 No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
No justice!
No peace.
Say his name!
Jayland Walker.
Arrest the police! Arrest the police!
Hold that line!
There's a petition that's being signed now, but this is a letter signed for all the civil rights organizations.
Okay.
This is Freedom Block. We coordinated this letter. All right, that's the letter we also made. Was that the same one?
I believe it is. It's not right now.
Oh, that's the letter fast practice. And then you have the civil rights letter.
Here's the civil rights letter. Okay. But I also have some letters from independent individuals from the city of Akron who are asking for the same thing. Okay. And there are more coming. Okay. Is that okay? It's nice to know that.
No justice! No peace!
Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker.
We don't get it!
Shut it down.
We don't get it!
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Where can we expect to hear?
No justice. No peace. No crooked police. Shut it down.
Shut it down! Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Who's got the power?
We got the power.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose house?
Our house.
Whose house?
Our house.
Power!
All right.
Hey, look out there with it, they need to know. Power!
Hey.
Folks, the
Break down!
the weather, praise the Lord, held up for us.
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
Strong. We love you.
So the letters has been delivered from the law firm, from the community, and from individuals throughout the country. They will receive more letters over the next couple of days as people continue to sign on. So continue to push it out so people can sign on. Amelia Sykes is going to gather all of those letters and deliver them. This is not over. We are here to avenge every death by law enforcement in this country.
Yes.
We are started in our hometown in African, Ohio. But we stand in solidarity with everyone here.
Yes.
We understand our dear Mother Pam's pain and your pain.
Yes.
And we will not rest until we get justice.
Right on. That's right. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Jayland Walker. Jayland Walker.
We're going to head back to the buses, and then I think we're going to the church to get dinner, and we're going to hit the road. Gather numbers from the people that are not from Akron so we can stay in connection. We must build this movement. We must stand in solidarity with one another from this day forth. That is the call. That is the call. That is the action. Thank you all for coming out. Love you, Mom.
Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power? We got the power.
Before we go, I want everybody
Freedom
to
Block on three.
Pamela
1, 2, 3. Freedom Block. Pamela Walker. 1, 2, 3.
Pamela Walker.
1, 2, 3.
Pamela Walker.
1, 2, 3.
Pamela Walker.
1, 2, 3.
Pamela Walker.
Love everybody. Thank you for being here.
We with you, Pamela.
We with you.